VPC or virtual port channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the VPC. First, I'm going to talk about the concept of VPC, and after that, we will configure the VPC and we will learn how we can configure the VPC or virtual port channel. The first question is that what is the VPC or what is the virtual port channel? A virtual port channel or VPC allows links that are physically connected to two different Cisco Nexus series device or switch to appear as a single port channel by a third device. Look at this scenario. In this scenario, as you can see, switch 3, okay, as you can see, connected to switch 1 and switch 2. You know that if, for example, I need to configure this two interface with the port channel configuration without VPC, I can't. Why? Because the port 1 of switch 3 connected to one switch and port 2 connected to the other switch. Okay, with VPC or virtual port channel, we can use, or this feature allows us to connect to configure two interfaces that connected to two switches, okay, in a port channel. Okay, the third device, this device, can be a switch, can be a server, or any other networking device that support port channel. A VPC, this is the VPC, for example, if we configure the VPC, we have these two interfaces, okay, on one port channel, such as the interfaces connected to one device. This is the one port channel. For example, port channel 1, we call it the VPC, okay. In this VPC, that is a layer 2 link, we have redundancy, okay, because when one of these links, for example, failed, other links now is available. And also we have the option of the load balancing. We don't need to block one of them because here we don't have the possibility of routing or switching loop. Because of that, both interfaces now is in up state, and also we have the feature of load balancing and we have the feature of redundancy, and all of these are the benefits of the VPC. We can call the VPC, okay, multi-chassis ether channel, or MEC. Look at here, multi-chassis ether channel. What does this mean? You know that when, for example, we have two switches, for switch 1, okay, and switch 2, and between these two switches, for example, we have more than one link, for example, two link, we can use the aggregation feature to have the double bandwidth, to more redundancy, okay. But for example, in this scenario, switch 3 connected to two switches, and we can configure port channel normally here, okay. Because of that, we need a feature that the name of this feature is VPC, and after configuring the VPC, switch 1 and switch 2 can work with it together, and after that, switch 1 and switch 2 can create a port channel with switch 3. Switch 3 doesn't know about the detail about the relation between switch 1 and 2, and switch 3 considers that it has port channel with one switch, but here we have two switch. Okay, this is the VPC, not normal port channel. This is the virtual port channel or VPC. Okay, the first thing that we should understand before configuring the VPC is some of the terminologies we are using in the VPC. Let me to talk about some of them. The first and one of the important terminologies in the VPC is the keyword of VPC, okay? VPC or virtual port channel. What is the VPC? The VPC, okay, is or are the combined port channel between the VPC peer. Switch 1 is one of the VPC peers and switch 2 is the second VPC peer. Both of these VPC peers should work with each other. And finally, we have a virtual port channel, the combined port channel between the VPC peer device and downstream device. Look at here, switch 1 is one VPC peer and switch 2 is another VPC peer. Okay, let me to write here. This is the one of VPC peers, and also this is other VPC peer. Okay, these two VPC peer should work with each other, and after that, these two VPC peer now represented themselves to the downstream switch as a one switch. Because of that, here we have a, for example, a combination of the VPC peers function with one downstream peer. This is the VPC. Okay, if anybody asks you what is the VPC, you can say that VPC is like as the port channel or PC. Okay, but in VPC, in one side we have two different switches instead of using one switch. Okay, and then the next terminology is the VPC peer device. Let me to write here VPC peer device. I explained the VPC peer device in the VPC part. VPC peer device, one of a pair of devices. This is two pair. Okay, one of a pair of devices that are connected with a special port channel known as the VPC peer linked to other VPC peer. Look at here. In this, for example, figure, you can see that switch 1 now and switch 2 as VPC peers now have some links between them. One of the important links between them is the VPC peer link. Okay, in VPC peer link is a link that we are using it to synchronize a state between the VPC peer device. Okay, we will learn about the state, but after the state between these two peer device is synchronized with the VPC peer link, they can, okay, for example, work with each other and they can create one virtual port channel. Okay, both ends, switch 1 and switch 2 as VPC peers, must be, for example, on 10 gigabit Ethernet or 40 gigabit Ethernet interfaces. Okay, now we learned about the VPC and also VPC peer device and also VPC peer link. You know that VPC peer link, this link, okay, the VPC peer link's function is the synchronizing state between the VPC peer device. Okay, also after that we have another link between these two switches. We call it VPC peer keep alive link. Okay, VPC peer keep alive link. Don't mistake with the VPC peer link. The VPC peer link is used for synchronizing states between the two switches, and VPC keep alive link has another function. The peer keep alive link monitors the vitality of a VPC peer Cisco switch. For example, it can send some periodic keep alive message, and after that it can understand that the other VPC peer now is alive or not alive. This is the function of the VPC peer keep alive link. The VPC peer link is the VPC peer link's responsibility is synchronizing the states between two switches, and the VPC peer keep alive link's responsibility is monitoring the vitality of a VPC peer Cisco, for example, Nexus switch. The peer keep alive link sends configurable periodic keep alive message between VPC peer device. After that, here we have a VPC domain. What is the VPC domain? This domain includes both VPC peer device. The VPC peer keep alive link and all of the port channel in the VPC connected to the downstream device. Okay, it's also associated to the configuration mode that you must use to assign VPC global parameters. I will show you the detail of configuration, but here is the VPC domain. In some for example references, maybe you see this area as the VPC domain, for example until here or until here, but the important or the main for example area of the VPC domain is the two VPC peers and also VPC peer link